welcome back to another episode of the Michigan Magnet, man. I am back here in Kingston, Michigan again today, doing a little bit of camping out here. As you can tell, there's still snow on the ground out behind me. Winter is still in full effect, but today it is a completely different type of winter day. It is about 40 degrees outside here in Michigan. Completely different than my last camping trip. Last time I was out here on New Year's Eve, it got down to 18 degrees Fahrenheit. So tonight it's only supposed to get down to about 32. So that's a lot better than what it was. Now this area that I'm camping is on some property that my family owns. I'm gonna go ahead and get all of my gear. I just picked a spot to do some camping. Today's video will go over a couple different things. It'll go over hot tent safety, some tips and tricks to help keep your tent warm, what gear you need, because on my first trip, I didn't have all the gear I needed. So this video will tell you a little bit more about what gear I purchased since then to help make my stay out here a little bit more comfortable. So without that, let's go ahead and get going. So the first thing that I'm gonna do now that I got all my stuff out here, I'm gonna get this opened up and I'm gonna pull the tent out. I always like setting that up first before I do anything else. It is about 12:30 in the afternoon. Like I said, the temperature is close to 40 degrees right now. It's been warmer, it's fluctuating a decent amount. I'm out here by myself. The tent we'll be using in today's video is the Wild Haven Ultra Light camping tent that One Tigress offers. Now, it comes with one pole, the tent, and then some stakes. Now, there are extra strings that come with the tent to spread out the tent a little bit more on the sides, and it didn't come with enough stakes for that. So this past week I went to Walmart and I bought some extra stakes. So I'll have a little bit more pull away on the sides, because the walls were kind of pulling up right where I was sleeping, and I was feeling all of the ice build up on the side of the tent on the back of my sleeping bag, and it got cold a little bit. I had my sleeping bag, it was warm, but it still didn't make that much more of a difference. Let's go ahead and get this set up. Now I do want to find someplace kind of flat where I'm going to be laying. Last time I was kind of on a slant, so I'm going to look for someplace like that. Over and tight. So I mentioned earlier in the video that I've got some new gear that I'm going to be using, and this is the first piece of gear. Now this is an insulated emergency blanket slash tarp. It's going to be big enough for me to put underneath my cot, and it should protect a little bit more dryness from the ground. On the inside you can see it's got this reflective material, and I'm hoping that this will keep some of the heat off of the ground and reflect it back up in the tent. So let's go ahead and get this put down. Now I do plan on putting Velcro on the side of this and Velcroing it up to the side of the inside of the tent. That way all the condensation that was building up, that was hitting the side of the tent, won't be actually hitting me, because there will be an additional wall in there that should prevent condensation. So that's what I'm hoping for with this. Let's get it put in. Now the part that I mentioned that I was going to be Velcroing is going to be this back half here up to this wall to make that little false back. Each side comes with a little stake. I'm going to stake those in too. This should prevent it from moving around at all on me. Alright, so I got the Velcro. I'm hoping it sticks to this pretty good. Let's start with this piece here. And stick this to the back of this, pull a little bit farther down to give it room. So I just stuck that one piece of Velcro to the back of this side here. Now I'm going to do the same down on this side. I'm going to push up on it. I'm going to try to get a grip on it. The Velcro is not going to work. I have another idea. Let's pull that off. So there are these little corner parts here. I think I could take this. This goes to the door, and I could just put it around on this side, like this, and through the hole, and that should hold that side up. Let's see if I can do the same on the other side. That's gonna work. We'll see what it looks like once I have my cot up in here. I'm gonna go grab my cot next. This cot was one of the best purchases that I had made before I came out last time. It got me up off the ground and kept me a lot warmer. I don't know if you know, this snow is really cold. So do you see how this comes up behind? I know this doesn't stick right there, but at least I'm hoping this keeps some of the heat up and where my bedding is. Now, the next piece of material that I bought that's gonna make this so much more comfortable than the last time is a sleeping mat. So what that does is it's gonna create a layer of air between me and the cot, which is gonna help me stay a lot warmer than I would have been. I was really warm last time with my sleeping bag, don't get me wrong. But I think that this little mat will just make it that much better to be sleeping up off the ground. So that's one of my tips. I highly recommend getting a sleeping mat and a cot. I'm gonna go ahead and get the sleeping mat on. This sleeping mat is super lightweight and made by a company called Invoker. I paid, I believe, like $25 or $30 for it off of Amazon. I will go ahead and put the link down in the description as well. It blows up super fast. There's a lot of little ridges and stuff in it, so it makes it easy and quick to blow up. Now, this particular mat does have a pump built into it that you can use, but I pulled it out and I didn't like the pump. It doesn't work very well at all. So I prefer to blow this up by mouth. It does not take long. Can't do it from this side. This right here is what I was talking about. There's a foam mat in here that you're supposed to be able to squeeze, and it's supposed to fill this up with air. It does not work. So if you're looking for a mat that has that option built in specifically, I wouldn't recommend this mat. But if you're okay blowing up the mat by yourself, it doesn't take long. I'm gonna show you. I highly recommend this thus far. Let's go ahead and get this thing blown up. So the way the little valve works, it's a little check valve that's built into the back so it doesn't let any air out. See that it's got large ridges coming through here, and it adds about 2.5 inches of thickness between me and the cot. That 2.5 inches is gonna make a difference. Now this air is gonna get warm from my body heat, and that's gonna help keep me warm tonight too. And it is fairly comfortable. Now, I did read up that people are having issues with other mats where they fill them up with air, and when they turn on their side or anything, they feel it up against their cot or the ground. With this, I'm finding that the way that they distributed all of the air in the mat, that that doesn't happen at all. My body's not touching. It's like being on an air pad, like an air mattress. And it's crazy how that's gonna be warm. I'm excited about that. I need to get this stove set up, and I need to get some wood cut before it gets to be nighttime. It's about 1:30 now. I got the tent part set up. I've got my cot set up. The tent I set up wrong last time. I forgot some steps. I didn't realize that the little ring spots are where I could put something rather than the strings that come off of them. So I've got more room in here today. So the outside parts are pulled out. That wasn't like that last time. I didn't have the strings hooked up. So that is another tip. When you are setting up the tent, set it up correctly. This tent does not come with instructions. You kind of have to do it on your own, but from watching other hot tent videos on YouTube, I was able to figure it out. So make sure you're watching these videos, guys. That single tip is gonna help me have a lot more room in my tent today. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the stove pulled out and get some of the wood cut. So this is my little hot tent stove. Now when I ordered this, the company didn't send me these little side panels. You saw in my last video that I had to use this little grill grate as the little side. I have since talked to the company, and they are sending out those 2 panels to me. They offered me a $40 refund on the product if I wanted to continue to use the stove without it. They also offered to replace the entire thing, but that was gonna take weeks and weeks because they didn't have any currently available, which sucked because I just ordered it like days before that. So I'm currently still going to be using it how I had it last time, and it is okay. It works great. None of the smoke got out really, other than when I was putting wood on top to dry it out. That did get a little bit smoky in here, and I just opened up the sides and let it air out a little bit. So last video you saw that I was using a couple pieces of pie tins with some duct tape to hold the stove stack up. I do have this part now from One Tigris. It got here really quick within 3 days of ordering it. So if you're looking for a quick delivery and quick delivery on products, I highly recommend going with One Tigris products. So what this does is it keeps the stove stack from being able to touch the actual tent and prevents it from burning. So it's really important to have this. And it just sticks up right up onto here, onto this little Velcro. Boom. And now that part will be taken care of. Better than some pie tents. Set that up on those. Now I am gonna face this towards where I'm sleeping tonight like last time. So I have easy access to go ahead and put firewood into the stove. This back part connects right into here for the stove stack. As I mentioned in my last video, I really like that this comes off the back half of this and not off the top like on a lot of other ones. It just makes it a little bit easier to control the smoke and the heat levels, and it gives me more room to cook up on top. These pieces just interlace into each other and they drop in like that. Now I just have one last piece to put on. Ooh. I didn't think that was gonna happen. There was snow on it. I was trying to get the snow off. There we go. Now I like how the end of this bends to the side at a 90, so it prevents the smoke from coming back towards me. It's really nice. So now that I have the stove and the tent set up, I'm gonna get out there and cut up a little bit of firewood. I did bring some food for tonight. I got some steak and potatoes, but I did bring some mushrooms as well. Some morels and a bunch of other random forage mushrooms that came in this pack. They're dehydrated. I'm gonna rehydrate them and get those cooked up tonight. It should be super good. If you saw last video, you found out that I really like to cook. I really like to eat too. Got some trail mix going. You guys need to make sure you guys are eating plenty of stuff while you're out here, so you got plenty of energy. Without that, you can get cold even. Your body, when it's digesting, it's actually burning calories and it's keeping you warm. Last time I came out here, I forgot my pan and my saw. This time I did not forget. I got the saw here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut some wood. Now I did bring some more of those Duraflame logs. Last time I used them, so they don't fit in my stove like at all. I have to cut them. I cut it a quarter of one off last time. I put it in and oh, that was a bad idea. It was too hot. The whole smokestack was just glowing red. So I brought some this time as well. I'm gonna cut them up into smaller pieces, probably like 8 separate little pieces. And I can feed that to the fire throughout the night and it'll help the dry wood just pick up and like start burning a lot faster. So I've got 4 of those. Those will break into like 32 different little pieces. I also brought some Duraflame fire starters. Wood is nice and dry. We got 2 splits. And the little pieces of wood you're gonna get look like this. Now this is gonna help them burn a lot easier than a full piece would be, because the inside will be able to see it to the fire. I'm gonna split the rest of this wood and then I'm gonna cut up those Duraflame logs. All right, I'm taking a little bit of a breather. I just got all that wood cut and split. I got it stacked up in there. It should be enough for the night. It's not too cold tonight, so I don't think I'm gonna need that much. I also have these Duraflame logs that I mentioned. Now, typically, you would just put this whole thing in the fire. This is not that type of situation. These do not fit. So, I have to take and open it. I don't know if you've ever seen the inside of a Duraflame log pack. This is what it looks like. It's just this giant puck, and it feels really tight and packed. I'm gonna cut slivers of this off, probably the size of hockey pucks all the way down. And throughout the night, I can put these in there with the other wood just to keep the fire going. These are supposed to burn for an hour and a half long, the whole thing. So I think I can make it last a lot longer if I split it up so it can fit in my stove. So I'm gonna cut a couple pieces of this off right now. Let's see how easy it cuts. Last time I cut some of this, it was like 3:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning when my stove went out. So I'm hoping that it cuts pretty easy. I think it will. Like I said, I'm just gonna cut about hockey puck size off. So it's cutting through like a log would. I mean, it is a log. There we go. So I'm just gonna cut pucks like this size, and these are gonna burn so hot that everything's just gonna warm right up. These are almost like instant warmers, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut off a couple more of these and get those in there. It is still really warm out. The sun's gone down a little bit, but it's still beautiful out here. All right, so I have all the firewood all cut up and I'm hanging out in the tent now. We'll be using today to light this fire, believe it or not, will be this here handy dandy green lighter, as well as one of these handy dandy fire starters. So I brought these with me last time and they were completely handy. I'm still really warm. I don't even really know if it's necessary in here. I did bring a thermometer with me this time so I can see what temperature it gets to tonight. I'm thinking that it's gonna get pretty warm, in the tent at least. I'm thinking in the 70s at least. It's only gonna be 32 out today, or tonight. I am steaming right now. If you can tell, my undershirt here is soaking wet. I am gonna take this off as soon as I'm done getting all my moving around done so that I can stay warm. The drier you are, the more warm you will stay. So try not to sweat too much. On a few other videos that I was watching this week, I saw that they were taking stones and placing them near their stove to pull in the heat and help keep the tent a lot warmer throughout the night. So luckily, this big old pile behind me are all stones. So I'm gonna go grab a couple of these stones and go get them put in the tent and get them underneath the stove. So this is the giant pile of rocks I'm gonna pick from, and it looks like there's a bunch of tiny ones up in here. Now, I do need to be careful. There's barbed wire out here. If you can see it coming up through there. Ooh, the stone just moved on me. That just rocked out from underneath me. All right. They don't need to be too large. I'm wondering if what stones hold the heat in the best. Let's grab this one. I think this looks like one good one. Let's grab a couple of them. We'll just go ahead and toss that over there. I'm gonna grab a couple flat ones like this to put up on the side easier to fit up underneath better. Let's try this style of rock as well and see if that'll help out. I think 3 should be plenty. Man, it feels so good to have all my stuff set up and have all my wood cut. I can start to relax a little bit now. I am getting hungry, so dinner is definitely gonna be something that's happening soon. The sun is starting to set and it is so beautiful out here, guys. Look at that. The sky is just blue with the white streaks through it. Really beautiful. So I just got 2 of these rocks put under. The other one is way up underneath. And if I move this, you can see it up behind it. The flat one fit up there really well right up behind it. Oh yeah, and this is getting warm because my gloves are starting to dry up. I put my gloves up on the side here to dry. And it is working. I didn't talk too much about my lantern last time I was out. It's just a really simple propane lantern. This stuff slides up and out. There we go. So this part just comes here. I've got my tank of propane here, brand new. The last one I had was also brand new, but I've got some that are half empty in my car. I'll just twist this right onto here. This little lantern worked really, really well for some light in here last time. Gotta get those threads started. There we go. You can see I've got my lantern lit. I think I'm to the point, guys, where I can just start to relax. I'm starting to get a little bit hungry. I brought a ribeye steak, some little mini potatoes, an onion. I've got, that's just like my dinnery stuff. I've got some trail mix and jerky to snack on tonight. Oh, and I cannot wait to show you guys the salt that I got. I'm using some sriracha salt. So I'm excited to use that. I am really enjoying camping a lot. Before New Year's Eve, I had never gone out by myself before to camp. So that was a very new thing for me. And I'm really getting the hang of it, I think. I mean, I'm splitting wood. I got a little fire going. I didn't die last time, so that's cool. And that gave me some hope. I did just get a pair of brand new boots from a company called Expedia. I bought them on Amazon. They were $79. When I ordered them, they suggested that you order a half size smaller than you typically wear. So I typically wear a 10 and a half, so I ordered a 10. They came and they were so freaking small. I sent them right back and I ordered a size that was a size and a half bigger, and the size and a half bigger was the perfect fit. So if you need to buy some boots from them, buy sizes bigger. The smaller ones didn't do it for me, even though I don't know what it is. Other people in the comments said that they hadn't had that issue and that when they ordered smaller, it worked good for them. So order bigger. So as you can see, my shirt is completely soaking wet. Always bring dry clothes. I brought a dry shirt to change into. Now, this cold water will dry you out super fast. It is freezing out here. So you want to keep, like I said, dry. Dry is key. That's gonna keep me a heck of a lot warmer. Okay, I got my dry clothes on now. The sweatshirt was dry, just my shirt was wet. Now, to keep warm, the best way to do that, this is another tip for you guys. So your first layer of clothing should be something that's gonna suck in all the moisture. So I like to wear t-shirts that are a little bit more tight to the skin as my first layer. Then your next layer is going to be your insulator. So this, if you look inside, is nice, fluffy, and really, really warm. You wanna have a layer where all the warmth is gonna stay in, but it's still breathable, where all of that moisture can evaporate off of your body. As you could tell before, all the moisture was being locked in to my t-shirt. I was sweating a lot, but this sweatshirt was completely dry. That shirt that I put on first was doing its job to soak in all the moisture. And that is why I bring extra clothes and extra shirts when I go camping, so I could swap them out. I'm gonna go ahead and get some dinner started before it's too late. I think I'm gonna turn a movie on while I'm cooking and do some relaxing. It should be a good time. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on cooking. These are the mushrooms that I have that I was telling you about, the dehydrated mushrooms. You can see the morels. So the types of mushrooms that are included in this mushroom pack: morels, porcini, chanterelles, oyster, shiitake, and lobster mushrooms. So there's a whole bunch of different types of mushrooms. I know I probably pronounced some of those wrong. It's okay. So I'm gonna rehydrate these, and to do so, I've got this little, I'm gonna need one of these cups for my hot chocolate for dinner. But I've got this little guy that I'm gonna pour some water to and get it on the stove, and we'll get them all warmed up and rehydrated real quick. Pretty exciting. I've never seen a rehydrated mushroom, so I don't know how big they're gonna get. I got my mushrooms in the cup. I'm gonna go ahead and just set it on the side here next to the pan. The whole side there gets pretty warm. I'm just gonna let that dehydrate a little bit, or not dehydrate, rehydrate. Spread this oil around in here. I'm gonna get these potatoes up in there. I love campfire food so much. And normally I just stick to potatoes and steak for the most part. These are the little potatoes I got. Just some organic dynamic duos. Yeah, that'll be good. All right, let's get this steak seasoned. When it comes to steak, I don't like to over season my steak. Steak just needs salt and pepper typically, guys. But today I was feeling a little crazy, and I brought some different stuff. Clearly I'm gonna use salt and pepper, because those are my go-tos for anything steak. So we're gonna go ahead and add some pepper to this steak. Now let's look at this steak first. That is a beautiful ribeye. I've been really into ribeye steaks lately. It's like my go-to. You guys, look how beautifully marbled this steak is. Oh, I love ribeyes. This company, the San Francisco Salt Company, makes crazy different salts. And this salt is sriracha flavored salt. Now, I have never experienced anything like that before. I don't typically do hot stuff. It messes with my stomach, but it smells like sriracha. It smells good. Let's go ahead and add some of that to the outside. Gonna add a couple more little pieces of coal into there. Get it nice and hot. So I did bring a meat thermometer with me. Let's go ahead and check the temperature of the steak. Right now it's about 125. We're gonna go ahead and call the steak done. Pull that up and out. Looks so little good and nice and buttery and salty. You guys, the view here is amazing. Let me turn the camera on and show you guys the view I'm looking at. So when I'm sitting here in this tent, that is what I am looking at right now. It is really warm in here and it's just beautiful. If you haven't gone out into the woods by yourself, or if you're going through a tough time or anything, I highly suggest getting out in the woods like this. No other place I'd rather be. This right here is a morel mushroom, and it is really good. It's weird eating that in the winter. So if you look up into there, it's a nice medium rare all the way through. Cook that perfect. Okay, I got all dinner done, and now I've set some of these stones. I put a stone up on top, and that is just sucking in all of the heat from this fire going on. I just threw a couple of logs in there, but it is going really well. It is warm in this tent, guys. I had the door open for a while I was cooking because it was so warm. I think this rock is going to do a really good job at holding in a lot of the heat in this place. I also have the ones on the side and up underneath it, so that should make a huge difference. It is now closer to 60 degrees Fahrenheit in this tent, and it feels good. I'm comfortable. This pad underneath me that I blew up at the beginning of the video, that was more necessary than I thought it was going to be. It is so comfortable, like so comfortable to sit on, and my back has been like not hurting all day because of it. The last time my back, I was having back issues the next day, but this is helping a lot. I got dinner all done, all cooked. I got everything all cleaned up, and I'm just hanging out. I'm gonna start watching some movies here in a little bit, and it has been a really good day, guys. I love getting out here and showing you guys what I'm doing and getting out and camping. This is just the second hot tent video I've made, and I plan on making so many more. If you guys have any recommendations around the state of Michigan for me to go camping, go ahead and drop those down below in the comments. Coming to visit, we're gonna peek up at them. So my cousin and his family just stopped back here, and it was really cool to show them the little tent. A lot of people don't know what to expect when they first hear that I've got a hot tent. A lot of people think it's going to be a lot bigger than it is, and there's going to be more room, but there's not. I've got a lot of stuff in here. You could sleep 2 people in this Wildhaven ultralight tent, but you're going to want to bring another tent with you to set all your belongings in, like all your gear. I've got this big tote that I put all of my camping stuff in with and pull along with me. And if with that being in here, there's no room for 2 people. So I would definitely recommend putting that in a separate tent if you are trying to bring 2 people out to tent in the hot tent. So I'm going to go ahead and get these boots off, climb up in my sleeping bag here soon and watch a movie. I haven't decided what I'm watching tonight. I have some options. I've got Full Metal Jacket, Ted, and Little Nicky. So I decided I was going to go ahead and watch Little Nicky. Alright guys, just wanted to check in and let you guys know what is going on. So it is really warm in this tent right now. So I've taken some of these body warmers, these hot pads. They have stickers, so I stuck one to my front, one to my back, and then stuck some to my feet. You don't see it because I put them on underneath these socks. I've got a pair of socks on, and then I've got one of these heat pads, and then I have another pair of socks on. And I found that is keeping my feet really warm. It is really warm in here, like I said, as is. I want to go ahead and show you guys exactly how warm it is. So, if you are looking on here, it is about 72 degrees Fahrenheit in this tent right now. And that is on the lower half. Let's see how warm it is up top. I'm just going to hold this up here for a minute. So today has been completely awesome. I'm watching Full Metal Jacket right now. The stove is going really good. So cutting those Duraflame logs into pucks was the best thing I could have done. I'm definitely going to keep doing that. I might even cut them in half again and make them even smaller because I think the hockey puck size ones are still too big. The stove jack on the back is getting red hot still, which is okay. It's dissipating within like a foot up, which is cool. And then up top, it's not even touching or rubbing over there where it exhausts out, so that's not an issue. Okay, let's see. Oh wow. And up top, let's see if I can get it for you. It's about 83 to 84 degrees at the top of this tent. So it is warm in here. I'm in a t-shirt, guys. Like, I am like pretty much near sweating. It's very dry in here, or else I would be. Like I said, the fire is still going good. These rocks up here have been like lifesavers. These things get super warm, and it's making it stay warm in here, and they radiate. I can feel the heat coming from these rocks. Let's say almost a foot and a half away. Let me go ahead and open this up. It is burning really good in here still. Not good. I had my phone too close to the fire and I got an overheating warning. Luckily it's 26 degrees outside, so I just shoved my phone under the side of the tent and it cooled right back down, so no more problems there. I'm just gonna keep watching another movie, and after that I'm probably just gonna call it a night. It's been a really good night.
So I'm about to call it a night. A ton of deer just came through here. They were like literally within like 5 foot of my tent. I was kind of hoping one of them would trip up on one of the cords I have pulling up the tent on the sides, but got the fire going. Got some Duraflame logs up in there for the night. I will see you guys in the morning. So I just woke up to put some more wood in the fire. Fire's still going pretty good. It's still warm in here. Good morning. The roosters are out there screaming good morning at me. The fire's still going good. I woke up a few times last night to add more wood to the fire, and that seemed to work really well. This morning when I woke up, I cut up 2 more of these Duraflame log chunks. Next time I'm gonna cut up 3 of them. I only cut up 2 this time, thinking that's all I would need. And I'm down to my last 3 logs, which is perfect because that's really all I need. That's enough for another like hour and a half, 2 hours, and it'll be daylight by then, and I'll be able to pack up and head out. Hear that? There's the roosters in the background. Okay, let's address the next issue. So this morning when I was sitting here, I look up and there's red marks up on the side of the tent, 3 of them. I was able to get one of them out before it burned a hole, but there's 3 holes burned in my tent. It's got to be from these Duraflame logs being so hot, maybe smaller chunks. That sucks. I'm gonna have to get some patches for that, but that won't be a problem. I can fix that up easy. So the sun is making it bright out a little bit. It's not sunny, but it's bright out. I can see it's daytime. I think I'm gonna go for a little walk and get my muscles moving, get myself warmed up. I've been letting the stove burn out for like the last 20-30 minutes, so I haven't added anything else to it. It's just about done, I'm thinking, so I'm gonna go ahead and head out. And just like that, everything is packed up. That's going to be all for today's episode, guys. If you liked today's episode, make sure to hit subscribe and get those alerts turned on. I post new clips to my YouTube every single Friday, and I post new clips to my Instagram every single day. So I'll see you guys next week.